Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome down to the Nook. Today I'm going to look at rye. And the reason I'm really looking at rye in this short video is right after this, I'm going to shoot an opening of Palm and a Tropical Breeze from Sons of Vancouver. More about that in the next clip. But to warm up my palate, I thought, why don't I just drink a little bit of rye just to get myself squared away? So we're going to talk about Redemption Rye. Now, Redemption Rye is a sourced rye. I'll tell you more about that after the break. But it is, a good old MGP 95.5. So if you have any rye, that's really a full rye, not just the 51%. Anything from MGP at that 95.5 or 100% rye, well, you pour a bit and come back. I'll tell you my thoughts on Redemption Rye. 3, 4. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for staying with me. I think this might be a little bit quick. I don't want to rush it. I've had this bottle kicking around for a bit, actually, and I'm not sure why I haven't reviewed it. This Redemption Rye, as I said in the opener, is sourced from MGP. That means it's made in Indiana. It's a 95% rye, 5% barley, and it's pretty young. I don't really have an age on this. If you check around online, seems to come out around 2.5 years. But the group behind this is really pushing rye forward bourbon or rye like this. And also, like I'm going to sip it neat. I'm going to talk to you about what I taste in the rye, but really promotes this as, building a strong or a good cocktail. So Redemption Rye, nose and taste, see what it tells us. It's a nice rye. It's spicy, it's peppery, it's got cinnamon, a little ginger, a little anise. There's some cookie forward. What's that, like a ginger snap forward? Definitely some herbal notes already, whether that's dill or a little bit of nice grass going on in there. There's definitely a herbal note right up front. It feels a bit young, a bit lemony, a bit sprightly, and a bit spicy right off the nose. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. Tossing that around, it's exactly what you'd hope for in a bold but young rye. Again, grassy, lemongrass, spicy, cracked pepper, hot cinnamon. There's some oak. It's not an overwhelming amount of oak, not a lot of oak balance. Also doesn't have some nice char to come around or some of that backbone to give it another story. I like Redemption Rye. It's a sprightly young rye that goes great in an old fashioned. I think that's exactly what they're going for, and they hit it. It's a little overpriced in my market, which is why I haven't replaced this bottle. I can get Bullet Rye for a better deal, and I actually like Bullet Rye a little better. I wish I had that to compare it to. I think that would be a more authentic comparison, but it's very similar to Bullet or any of really the MGP 95.5s. It tastes like that. You might recognize it if you've had a fair amount of it. Great for mixing. Not bad if you want just a little sip of some rye, but it doesn't have a long second story. Redemption Rye for me really sits 3.5, 3.25 even, but it's not bad for what it says. It delivers what it promises. For me, a very fair comparison in my market would be something like Lot 40. Now, Lot 40 is 100% unmalted rye, and it's released at 43 instead of 46%. One of the key distinctions with Lot 40 here is that after going through a column, they run it through a pot still, and they're very selective of their cut, which if you've ever heard Dr. Don Livermore talk about how that gives the fruit that they're looking for and avoid some of the other flavors, very proud that this is, that it goes through that pot distillation that allows them to really select their cut and not just through a column still. So a little more rye, 100% instead of 95, and 43 instead of 46. Here's Lot 40, nose and taste. I'm sure you've heard me before. This brings significant, in this comparison, more fruit to the table. I don't know if I've talked a lot about dark cherry in there, but there's definitely cherry in lot 40. It's sweet. Some of the same notes. I can get some nice herbal notes and a bit of spicing, but definitely sweeter, more rounded on the nose, a little more floral. Yeah, this is going pushed strongly into more grass. Let's try lot 40 on the palate. Cheers. Definitely rye country. It's still bold. It's still peppery. Actually, that time it was a little hot. Kind of gave me a bit of a hug. But it has a rounder flavor profile. There are more aromatics on the nose, a little more floral, a little more. Gotta get what that is going on. But the body right now is significantly fruitier, just in comparison. I still don't get a lot of oak. It's there. I know it's definitely a counterpart, but it's not a big song for me today. Clearly, I enjoy lot 40 more than this Redemption Rye. It's same price, and then it'll go on sale for less. In my market, this is just should always be on the shelf, and you can see this bottle's going down. And a couple of reviews from now, if I'm doing a rye, you'll probably see a fresh bottle, just because it's worth keeping on the shelf. And if you put all that together, the pricing, the flavor profile, I even got a bit of peach cobbler in there, just briefly. I wouldn't say peach is what we're going for, but right now in comparison, it's giving me different flavors, and it really is a 3 3/4 rye for sure. In my palate, value, availability, and some nice peppering and a longer finish. Just a great rye to have for the price. I mean, this is still a very affordable and kind of an everyday rye, really, and that's the context I'm trying to start in. So there you go. We've got Redemption Rye, not bad, great in old fashions. Lot 40, also good in something like an old fashioned, but if you're going to sip a little bit of rye every now and then, I'd recommend the Lot 40. Thanks for joining me here, and if you've got a little more time, I'm going to open that Palm Trees and Tropical Breeze from Sons of Vancouver and just give my first thoughts. You guys take care.